Coach. Thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
No. Check. Patriot. Hunt.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. From the gun, it's Jackson. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A toss play to Hunt. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Here's Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Detroit!
Jackson from the shotgun. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. The Ravens send their punter out now. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Detroit!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to float this one deep. And got his man complete. The 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, 91 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. This is Hunt. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They go play action now. Jackson. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
He's going to air one out. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Landry. Landry, agile footwork. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Right,
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10. A first carry for the rookie Nick Chubb. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it.
Got him. Got him. Got him. Woo! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Set! Blue landing! Blue landing! Hot! Hot!
2nd down, Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Hot!
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And now here come the Ravens. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he completes it to Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now Jackson on second down. He's going to look deep down the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
So on the big tight end, Holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without Holding.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. A give. This is Chubb. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Gone! 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 Hot!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, they're back to where they started, 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield underneath for Johnson. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And he comes back with one complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Fighting through. Now the ball comes loose, and the Ravens have got it.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is up just a little bit.
Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. They go play action here on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he's got room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, here we go.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to go deep down the left side, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. And Gonzalez puts this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
From the gun, Mayfield. To the right side and complete to Njoku. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Mayfield. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Mayfield on first down. Flush to his right. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Landry, the intended target. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard!
They run with Hunt. Oh, look at that.
Look at him turn.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. He's got his man, it's Andrews. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 3rd down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Losing 6 yards there to bring up 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Right through him.
Boom, bam, biff.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Doesn't matter who the runner is going to be each week. Defenses get ready to gang tackle. They want multiple people to the ball. They want to make sure they take the proper angles to the runner, make sure there's no place for him to spin out and go what they call through the back door and get away from people. And they want plenty of guys there to hit him, try to knock the ball free, the whole deal. But on that play, the best laid plans did not work.
Mayfield to throw it. That is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is taken at the 15. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
He's going to fire one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe.
Hey, you got three, three down.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. This is Carlos Hyde, the former 49er, his first carry. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Leopard!
Back now in Baltimore.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit! Leopard!
They run it again with Hyde. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think it's pretty easy to say this is a ginormous 3rd down opportunity here for the defense. And I'm just going to tell you, Brandon, from my experiences, what you're saying in the huddle to each other is all the right things. Read your keys. Do your job. But the biggest one, you don't have to do more. Just do what you can do, and you can make this play.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mark Barron. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Ravens have got it.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Now Jackson operating from the gun. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jordan Lasley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And the Browns getting set to go. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play. Move on. Next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. That's Njoku over the middle. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
And that is taken in by Njoku. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. You gave the stat early on that he's one of just 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards last year, and then you said they needed to bottle him up for under 100 yards. He's way under 100 yards.
Bottom line, he's had virtually no success whatsoever.
And because of that, among a couple other reasons, they're down on the scoreboard. On third down, that's Hunt. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Jackson. He's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Back down, Philly. Here we go.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Gone!
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Jackson on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And again, it's Chubb. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Jackson, he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Jackson. Underneath to Allen. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Buying time to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 48. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Jackson to Allen on the dump off. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff,
All right, now, look
but
at
still
56.
a lot of
Look at
guys to
56.
account for.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson, and the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.